second in our series, The Architect's Eye. In cooperation with Bouwveld magazine, we're looking at new ideas, projects and buildings around the world. Today we go to the Netherlands.
Helmond is a small city in the Netherlands, characterised by brick buildings from many eras. But it also features unusual prefabricated steel and glass houses, which are now adjacent to a sensational new library. The tree houses from the 1970s also include a theatre, the Speelhuis. The library, shown here in red, is part of an urban regeneration scheme in Helmond city centre. With oversized shopping and apartment complexes also slated for development, the project threatens to overshadow the tree houses and theatre. Designed by Dutch architect Piet Blom, the tree houses are an international design icon. For Peter Wilson, the architect of the library, they are emblems of architecture's past, which can now be rediscovered.
They're enormously sculptural. They're also quite utopian. They define another way of living in the city, like children in a treehouse, living up there with all those strange corners, fairy tale corners, looking up, looking down, but not always straight ahead. They actually need ground to be alive, the city square. And they have that here because of the theatre. The combination of cultural and private use is exemplary.
The theatre is the biggest of the tree houses. It can even be used for a circus. The tent is not real. It's painted onto the bare concrete. For an architect building next door, the question is how to approach such expressive colours and forms. Wilson's answer is elegant and restrained, constructed to engage in a dialogue with its eye-catching neighbour.
I didn't want to get caught up in too much interpretation. I just see it as a physical form that our form has to stand beside. That requires a respectful relationship, not distant, not threatening, but one that manages to create a type of intimacy.
A cafe strengthens the intimate bond between the buildings. The architect located it at the rear of the library, overlooking the tree houses. The cafe leads directly to the foyer and main entrance. One space flows seamlessly into the other in this public building.
Nowadays, a library is a particularly important spot in a city's landscape. It's a public building. It's a counterpoint to commerce or to the commercialization of the city. A public building everyone can enter. Children, the homeless, where everyone can find a comfortable seat and read a book, educate themselves. It's truly part of the public space.
Wilson's library integrates public space and architectural heritage. This is achieved through the clever alignment of the windows, all through art, like this frieze from a torn-down school from the 1950s.
I find the superimposition of the past morbidly interesting. It's almost like a piece of archaeology from the 1950s. It's not a Picasso, but it's a trace of a bygone era, and I think it's very important to save it and maybe use it as a measure to perhaps evaluate our age differently.
Wilson's measure of our age is strong colours, clear forms, and the interplay of light and space.
Beautiful doesn't always mean aestheticized. It means comfortable. Beautiful is something the user should feel. He shouldn't stand in front of it and say, "What a beautiful building." He has to feel at ease when he's inside. It's comparable to a living room. If I can sit down comfortably, then I feel at home.
The new library is the measure for feeling at home in Helmond. And it should be applied to the rest of the inner city development so the city's character doesn't disappear behind faceless shopping malls.